limits, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we're not two places. No, but that game was just pretty much just shows how our season's been going. Really. Like, gone all over and just much more. I'm so happy with Billy's goal buff because I was speaking on Lockie and I saw it and I was like, play it to the side of the wall. Like, many people have been talking about it for so long. Yeah. Yeah. See, what finished? What really started with the thing and ran, and no one fucked with it. So, yeah. And he even scored. Yeah. Well, we won't hear the end of that.
I didn't know which way he was going for a split second.
What do I do now?
That's when he was thinking about continuing that. Looked like a chest or a shoulder. It wouldn't have been a foot.
You know, you got 10 minutes, mate.
Oh, down there, yeah.
go, boys. Get over there.
Make sure it's
Copy.
Can we get something to play on?
Calling the best, because you know.
Gang of all great, eh?
Under 20s is about to kick off shortly, so I'll run through the team lineup. For Lake Macquarie City, number 37 Adam Mitchell, number 39 Brandon Madrell, number 35 Cameron Johnson, number 38 Connor Cromartie, number 33 for Destin, 25 Harrison Taylor, number 28 Isaac Robinson, number 23 Joshua Patterson, 21 Troy Abrams, 46 Nicholas Charlesworth, 13 Corey Fletcher, 43 Zane Winslade, number 40 Morgan Aquino, number 22 Connor Curtis, and number 1 Isaac Nyman. Valentine, number 22 John McGee, number 3 Jordan Sykes, number 13 Harris Pearson, number 15 Julian Bishop, number 2 Caleb Bird, number 11 Scott Gunster, number 5 Liam Cromartie, 14 Ben Comerford, number 6 Bradley Sabanda, number 8 Josh Kerr, 7 Josh Winiarzik, number 4 Leighton Farley, number 12 Jordan Harrison, number 16 James Dalcario, number 9 Mitch Lawrence, and 69 James Feature. Good luck to both teams this afternoon.
Jules. Young Gunster swap. Gunster. They can go to the right.
Wasn't really listening.
It's got to be higher. Touch. Leighton's got to be quicker there.
Head up, God, yeah! Good trainer. Get off it.
Get the last man on the right shoulder. Liam's got to be straight.
Gamble off his head.
Hey! Step up! Hey! Step up! Step up!
28. He was in that corner.
Just walk around or what? Wait, pick up the man underneath our 2 strikers. Oi! Push him off wide.
Get some fit.
Make sure this way.
Desperate! That's the Hoya!
Here's a push.
Come down the middle, we can go left or right. Come down this side and you box in. Jules, make sure Gunster and Mitchie are the two blocking them in underneath you. Okay? If Mitchie gets dragged out, let him know. Find Gunster. Hey!
Adam, we didn't have to jump. Boys, get going.
He didn't even shave. Win the ball straight away. Leighton's ready to tuck in.
Hey, look forward!
Leighton, that's you. Jules, well done. Jules, the middle, step up. Step up!
Goals are Lake saluting Mitchell. Lake saluting 1 goal to 0.
Should not be offside here when he starts chasing the ball.
That's all right, we got it.
Hope you got a shirt on it too. Get a number, just pin a number on the back of this first. I put sunscreen around it, yeah, let it burn in. You might have to take it for us. Nick, swap with Isaac. Just for 2 seconds. Isaac! Come here! Take your shirt off. They've got a run going on. That's all right. Get the rest of my number. He's just one around.
Six back there, Isaac. Julian, set up. Gunster, push yours. Dane, tuck in. Julian, come.
Don't get too deep. That was you to push on.
Be strong, Harry!
Alrighty, 1 week.
Morgan! Morgs!
Just keep an eye on Isaac. Leighton, tuck in. Tuck in. Get him on your right shoulder. He's got to be on your right. Perfect.
Nick, go the runner. Nick, come on the runner. Morgan, just protect the ball. You don't just have to try and flick it. Protect it and look backwards again. You don't always have to get it and turn.
We're building up. Oi, we want 260. Okay, so we want Curry. Jordan. Okay, option.
Goal to Mitch Lawrence. Scores a lot 1-all.
Julian, stay alive. Benny, you come one. Benny goes one. Three in the middle. Julian, stay alive. Stay alive.
Look forward! Hold!
Two down the middle. Soxy, Curry, closer. Soxy, Curry, closer. Brilliant. Stay alive on the touch. Pressure on the ball.
Lucky one on Connor. Lucky. That's better, boys.
Wait, Mitchy, if you can win it, there's lots of space in transition there, okay? Mitchy, try to pick, Mitchy, pick up the ball facing forward, first touch away. Well done. Win it, on the touch, win it. Step up, step up. Hey, step us up. Curry, down the middle. Curry, down the middle. Wait, Mitchy, have a look now. So you'll push on, so that's spacing around Sykesy there. That can be you in that box.
Hey!
Dane. Dane, get in the box. Leighton, sit for Dane. Leighton, sit for Dane.
That's like four.
Wait, Curry. Curry. Liam, well done. Brilliant. Jordan, brilliant. Benny, stay alive. Stay switched on. Push on the ball. Leighton, who you got? Leighton. Mitchy turn. Second.
Let's get it going, come on!
Liam, brilliant. Liam, stay alive. Switch on there. Liam, great work. Liam, brilliant. Stay alive there.
Well done, Zan.
Mitchy, what's the 43? 43, Mitch. deep. Just go in there, when it goes out one side, then he and all that shit, and they go small. So it means Liam's sort of tucking in that one and make sure you can just go to the goal. They've always got an extra man.
Come on, Nick.
Second ball, win second ball, Mitch. Second ball, well done. Hey! Well, ladies, you're getting caught out 2 on 2 to the ball watcher on the left leg, okay? Talk to Josh Perkins, the extra man, or tell Liam to sit, it's always 3 on 2. Okay?
Make sure you drop in when we're in
Where the
defence.
ball is, that's not the game. Listen
Okay.
up, okay? Let Benny know. Leighton, let Benny know, please. Gun stop. Stay, come out. Keep it. Win it.
There's a push.
Agility, stay alive. Don't switch off. Julie, come this side, come the corner. Okay.
Keep coming, Nick. Come on.
Step up.
Take the ground. That's it, deliberate.
Good foul, Benny, well done. Hey, Mitchie. What's the 43? What's the 43 there, Mitch?
Absolutely scared.
Well, there's 2 here.
Little bit deeper, Harry.
Second ball.
Keep coming, Nick. Come on, moves. Better.
Leighton, open up.
Put away, Has. Yes!
Come on, Morgie. Go high, Morgan.
Moving out, lads, moving out.
Oh, Mitchie, higher.
Come on.
On the touch.
Do the first man, look
Get
through
there,
his
higher.
circle, get
Mitchie,
caught.
higher. Tuck it out.
Control side! Side! free kick.
In. Just sit. Just watch for the ball coming out. Give yourself a bit of depth.
Come on!
Come on, take control, ref.
Just use your cards, mate. Come on.
Constant. Gonna end up having a bloodbath.
Step up, Mitchie, take. Mitchie, go one. Mitchie, go one. Mitchie, go. Step up. Step up.
Connor, you've got to come out for him.
Wait,
You're
back
still.
three. When it goes off, step up. William, get us out, Jordan. Get us out. Dane, get ready to tuck in.
Double up, double up. Well done.
That's out.
Pressure, lads, well done.
Let him go. Press on the ball.
Come on, Nick. Tuck in and get the shape.
Back. Mitchie down the middle. Ready?
On that drop. Harry, take a touch, draw the foul. Nick, help. Nick, support. Deliver! Nick, got to be an option for out there.
Jules higher.
That's it.
Everyone on one. Jules. Like Steve, Bobby higher.
Harry, where's he gone? Harry, come on.
Step up! Step up! Step up!
Right. Harry, along the ass. Top ball, top ball. Listen in.
Richie, gun start, 266. Okay, 28, 43, gun start.
Just squeeze him in. There, win!
Step up! Step up! Step up! Step us up!
Now play. Keep working, Nick. That's it. Hold him up. Hold him up.
Take it! Lucky Nick!
Mitchie, get out of there. Get out of there. Gunster, higher.
There we are.
Get up for it.
Press on the ball, press on the ball. Press on the ball.
Put the pressure on him. Not too deep, Flex. Flex. Watch the lane.
Yeah, at that speed.
Pull him, Morgan. Lucky Mark. Lucky, lads, well done. Fucking hell! Hit his freaking neck! Can we get it to Cooper?
Is he right or what? Yeah, right, are you right or what? Lane, you right? Wait, wait. Watchman, is he right? Is he right? Let's go, get on. Don't worry about it.
You won't pull it up anyway.
Good shot.
You can supervise. So you're not going to let your teammates down. Use advice, Fletchy.
That's a good one for you. Think a rub works, I heard.
Dan, sit in. Mitchie, sit in for Jordan. Mitchie, sit in for Jordan. You right? Ref, right, ref, come on. Very well done. Your seat, well done. Well done.
Boys, let's play, man! Get back on it! Drop line. Keep going. There we go. Work the line! Left shoulder. Too far. Mickey, right shoulder. Here. Get out, turn it up.
Yeah, push on the ball. Push on the ball. Stand on the ball.
Step up.
Let's go. Step up. Don't get caught ball watching. You're ball watching.
Red tackle win. Step up. Keep it.
Coming on.
Here. Go on.
Again. Come on, Isaac, push up a bit, too deep.
Stay there.
Right on him, Isaac. Zach, sit. Flex, just sit. That's in, drop. Behind him, it's in. Come on, Sin, drop in, behind 50, come on. Now you start to walk it. That's it.
Winnie, you're up. Right here, one of them. Go, Nick. Out, Nick, go. Out, Nick.
Go on, Zach, let's go.
No turn, just hold him.
See him coming in the hole, moves. Early.
Quicker.
Step up.
Cross, hold, go.
Work it on, Zach.
What'd you send it?
Please, lads.
That's good out, mate. Step up. Then on there, step
Go!
back. Mitchie, Jordan, gotta be deeper. Can't start, gotta be deeper.
Lucky lads!
Another one, boys, come on. Push the last bit. One on. Second ball, second.
Right.
Yeah, let's go. Mark, just be aware of him and your right back.
Good, Winnie.
Wait. Hey!
Stay up, Claudia.
Away! Get now.
Come on, box. Keep coming, Connor.
Step up! Step up!
Go, Benny! Start, you got to left. Team it left.
Oh, we get it,
No,
look.
go to left. Hold it.
Mitchie, can you get under? Mitchie,
You got.
get under it.
Yes, wait. Out.
Hey, Curry, open up.
out of the 19th season. Charlestown Bowling Club, Club Charlestown, many good friends to me. 35 Latitude, invest, develop, grow. Love Realty, Newcastle, Lake Macquarie. Sports Click, providers of the Valentine NSW on and off field apparel. Macquarie Physio. Coast and Country Insurance Consultants. Blackburn's Business and Financial Services. Crust Pizza at Warners Bay, suppliers of our player of the match awards in the NPL seniors. Thank you for your support during the season.
Dane, remember to tuck in. Stay switched on, buddy, okay? Doing well. Stay switched on. Curry, they both go on. Sit. They both go on. Sit. They both go. You sit. Switch on there. Switch on there.
That's good. Come higher, Nick. Hurry, come on.
Win it, win it. Step up.
Win it.
On his touch. 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 Jordan, get him on your left shoulder, please. Well done, turn. Stay alive. Stay alive, well done, motion. Mitchell, come central, Mitchell, through the middle. Harrison, open up. Dan, keep working, well done. Second ball.
Carnage! Alright, don't go to sleep, you need to be picking up the second ball there.
On that balance, if we get turned, you can retreat. You can push on.
Nick,
On the
Nick.
touch. Gunster. Give me someone in the middle. There's someone in the middle.
Talk! Come on!
Jordan, brilliant. Pressure on the ball. Now pressure on the ball. Box it.
Gotta lift it! Come on!
Who you got? Mitchell, here. Stay here.
Behind him.
Jordan, one shoulder. Jordan, central. Jordan, get in the middle. Go in the middle. Pressure on the ball. Pressure on the ball. Must win.
Gamble on it, Nick! Come on! I don't know, Zach.
Tuck it. Tuck it. Stay alive. Stay positive. Don't worry about it.
Unlucky!
Liam.
One on's in. Do the work, Nick. Second.
Second ball. Hey!
Unlucky, Kip.
Julian, busy. Mitchie, remember to be under. Someone's got to drop in. Mitchie, we're flat. Got to drop in. Can you get it? Keep it. Support, Josh Kerr, well done. Kaylin, stay switched on. Kaylin, stay switched on. Liam, remember it's 2 on 2 now. Go, Mitchie, Dane. Tuck in, well done. Jordan, who you got? Press on the ball. Press on the ball. Press on the ball. Step up. Step up. Step up. Press on the ball. There it is. Press on the ball. Press on the ball.
1, 2.
Michelle, you right or what? Jordan, we need to sit.
Lucky, well done, lads. Lucky.
Jordan, Mitch, you right.
Isaac, Connor.
No,
Just
it's
got the
actually
1, 2s
work.
in there. They're trying to flick behind you.
Pick up, face forward.
There's the way you're facing the other 1, 2 and 4 kids.
They're just sitting on you. Give me dragon.
Unlucky, Kip. Unlucky.
Press on the ball. One each. Jerry, who you got? Mitchie, who you got? Work it out. Mitchie, who you got?
Kick! Drop in and defend!
Track him. Come on.
Third. Jordan, pressure. Find your man. Curry, find your man. We're away. Press on the ball. Press on the ball.
Adam.
Wayne's got to go. Mitchie down the middle. There he goes. Jordan's gone. Got to give him in the middle.
Isaac, drop in.
Well done. Jordan, great work. Josh Kerr, brilliant. Liv, what position you need at the court, okay? Jordan, well done. Josh Kerr, who you got? Julian, Gunster, keep digging in, eh? Keep digging in. Keep digging in, win it, well done. Dane, left shoulder, Dane, got to be on your left, son, got to be on your left, Harrison, open your body up, open up. Man up, Jordan, man up. Here you go, Jordan. Long ball, open up. Got it down the middle, Mitchie down the middle.
Good shot, Nick. That's it. What do you mean, where? Where? Just hold the ground there. You can see.
Push on the ball, step up! Step up! Step up!
Lucky we need. Isaac, top, come on. Isaac, top for Cuba. Cuba, you got to work to get back. Come on. You're working, Morgie. Go, Kirk. One tight, come on.
Osman! Jordan! Jordan, side! Side, drop him at the back. Mitchie! Play next to Curry, okay? Bradley, in the court, underneath. Mitchie! Mitch! Mitch, I want you getting forward more. Oi! You maybe got to defend. Bradley, you've got to be under here. Bradley, this is you under. Okay? One each, on the touch. On the touch.
Step one, Mitchie, go! Work the line. Work the line. Wait, Dave.
Go. Kick Gunster. Kick Gunster.
No, don't. You're isolating. Bradley, play off him. Need someone off him. Need someone off him. Hey.
Morgan, one on one.
Back stick. Caitlin.
Come on, boys, we want to win the ball!
Up, step up, step up.
Adam, settle!
Richie, that tuck in for Curry. Jordan. 3 on 3 or 2 on 2, the extra man has to be Curry. Okay? Extra man's got to be Curry sitting. Hey Dane, swap with Leighton when you get a chance. Dane, swap with Leighton. Julian!
See if we can get you out, Connor.
Swap with Gunster. Dane, get a chance, swap with Leighton. Nothing changes, okay?
Come on, boys, come on! Tight! On again! Well on, Mitchie. Working!
Listen in. Mitchie, who you got? Mitchie, go, pick up. Here you go.
Come on, boys, settle it!
Bradley. Gunster. Wait, Jules,
Central.
get in the middle of the park. Switch on, Kaylin, Williams, switch on.
Hurry! Hurry! More.
Wait, tuck in. Swap with Gunster. Bradley, swap with Gunster. Two strikers. You, two strikers. Gunster, play under.
Yes, strong!
Bradley, two strikers, remember, still drop in. Okay? Two strikers, still drop in.
I don't even think I've got to be 8. Can I go on there? Can I go? Come on, Nick!
Done.
Nick Charlesworth! You've got to pick up the seconds in there, come on!
Patient, Julian, well done. On the touch. On the touch, there we go. There we go. There we go. Go, Bradley, go. Leighton, go. Leighton, go. Leighton, go. Mitchie, go. Mitchie, go. One in. Win it, win it. Step up, step up. Win it, win it. Win it. Leighton, win it. Win it. Win it. Bradley, well done. Second ball. In the second ball. Down the middle, Curry, down the middle. Mitchie, down the middle. Mitchie, down the middle. Sykesy, open up. Liam, ball watching. Liam, if we have a chance, or even drive with it, well done.
Unlucky.
Bradley, let Liam know if he sees space, he can drive forward. Let him know.
Stand just hold. Hey Connor, we've got to get hold of the ball and keep it, eh? Yeah. Numbers. Get it on, Kip. Right.
Bradley, well done. Stay switched on.
Let you get with him. Come on, Trip, back you come. Come on, come on.
Come on, stay still, Mitchie, deeper.
Get out, Zach. Push,
Press on the ball. Press on the ball. Press on the ball. Still. Come on. Stay alive here. Get good, say Cooper. Let's go, Leighton. Come on, let's go. Stay alive. Stay alive. Come on. Sykesy, get him on your left shoulder. Liam, get time. Drive, okay?
Drive, drive. Come on up top again, come on, push. Touch and go. Body. That's bumpy. Left shoulder. Take the ball, come on! Good. Come on, Morg! Yes! Go! Someone's got to tackle! Fletchy!
Leighton, switch on, tuck in.
Isaac. Corey Fletcher! Come on. Come in where Isaac was.
run over the mother.
Come on, boys, we've got to lift it.
Jules, come on, Jules. Let's go.
Got to keep the work rate up.
What do you need?
Wait, Kerry! Kerr! Mitch! Just Kerr! I've got no midfield, because you push on. I need build up. Oi, 2 sets. Get it, play forward. 1 goes, 1 set. Step up. Step up, Winnie, to the ball, Winnie, to the ball. There you go, step up, step up, step up. Push on, Mitchie, here you go. Waiting, ready to tuck in.
It's okay, come on.
Bradley, you got to come
Come on,
alive.
keep coming,
Bradley.
keep coming.
Come alive.
Cuba, keep coming.
Leighton, get him on your left shoulder. He's there, push on Leighton.
Good. Don't get lazy. Cuba, don't get lazy in defense.
Gunster, you go in behind. Push Bradley up the top.
Good, Leighton.
What with Bradley. What with Gunster.
Quicker, guys!
Pressure on the ball. Win the first, win the second. React, Mitchie. Gotta react, come on. Gunster, react. React!
Tuck in.
Bradley,
Shit.
Bradley, Chris. Quick, Leighton ready to go.
Drive! Shit. Come on. Get up, Cuba. Yes, Connor.
Second ball. Switch on.
Morgan! Oh, take a touch!
Win the ball, press on the ball. Let's get in play. Get it in play. Get it in play. Oh, he's not even ready.
Like you. Morgan! You want to go on that? Why would you get a big vacuum though? This guy's coming central. Mitch. You just slide it in where you are. Harry higher. You ready to go?
Pressure on the ball. Step up. Step us up. Step up. This is okay. Step up. Step up.
One more.
Good.
Top ball, what I can. Lucky Brandon! Hang up, H. Come on, drop in!
Yes, Coop.
What up, Cooper?
Leighton, come down the middle, Leighton.
This side!
Get yourself in the middle. Your turn. Good job, Leighton. Help him short. Well done. Josh, well done.
Come on, come. Come on, come. Put on it, put on it.
What
Well done, Adam.
One of you boys to push on. Okay, out of the three. Okay?
Good ponga.
Press on the ball, switch on. Boy, when in possession, Jordan, one of you boys go. You and Lee, push on. Work it out. Make it 2 and 2. First, win it. Press on the ball. Win it, just see. Bradley, you come one, just see, box him in here. Mitchie, just see in the centre, Mitchie, pick up, Curry, you got one. Dave, run it coming down the middle. Come. On the cut. Yeah. Switch on. Press on the ball. Press on the ball. Press on the ball. You have to step up.
Josh, tuck in.
That's it. Come to it. Press on the ball. Step up. Up. Step us up.
Put them under pressure, Josh. You get that. And drop off, Josh. Well done, Connor.
Press on the ball. Step up. Win it.
And Joshy, come on! Defense, remember?
Mitchell, stay alive. Get it right, you get it play. Good shit, Bradley, stay alive.
Come the end of go. Tuck in, Josh.
Stay alive.
Gotta work, you guys!
Gunster, get through the middle. Gunster. Mitchell, get it in there. Right, you get in there. Right, you get in the box. Right, get in there. Get in the box. Gunster.
Turn there, Tiger. Put it down. Okay, well done, lads. Harry Tuck. Head on.
Go forward.
Thank you.
Oi, Scott, you grab the ball, get in the fucking Liam, sit. Taylor, in the mid. Bradley. One left. Put it on the keeper. Wait, put one in there, Jack.
You were standing outside and you connected. So.
Cameron.
One on one off here. Does it look like you went to kick it? Does it look like you bust up? Same thing every fucking week. I talked to him before the game.
said, hey, there's no excuses anymore. This is the best team we've got. You have to back down and run it. You want to go higher, you want to prove yourself, you've got to learn from those games you play. That's my advice to you. Individually, if you thought you need to improve somewhere, you need to improve. Ask me questions, okay? Yes, things will turn around. The bottom line is we cannot keep going into half-time saying, hey, we think we're on the same team. Okay? Credit to you guys, you created opportunities at the end. There's been other games that, yes, we have given up and didn't create. Okay? Yes, they didn't get in or go in. Then we learn from it. Okay? Then we learn from it. Okay, so individually, you guys have made mistakes. Okay? Tuesday night's training, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I do have shut in, so just ask me. Yeah, Tuesday night back start, Thursday at sleeping cover.
It's coming also. That would have been embarrassing.
They had it at the end like last year.
Cool, right?
Valentine Football Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support during the 2019 season. Charlestown Bowling Club Charlestown, where good friends meet. 35 Latitudes, invest, develop, grow. Love Realty, Newcastle Lake Macquarie. Sports Clip, providers of Valentine FC on and off field apparel. Macquarie Physiotherapy, Coast and Country Insurance Consultants. Blackburn's Business and Financial Services. Crust Pizza, Warners Bay, suppliers of Player of the Match Awards for first grade, under 20s and under 18. Power Earth Electrical Engineering Consultants. Cotton Paint, Murray's Meat at Belmont City Centre, the Holmesville Hotel, Maryville Tavern, Think Financial Advice, Building Construction Industrial Supplies, MPC Consulting Engineers, Total Transport Solutions and Cars, Express Promo Trophy, Civil Engineering, Pacific Design Building, Pinnacle Brick Lane, Valentine Butcher, Russell Macquarie, Optometrist Laboratory, and CMA10, Jim's Test and Tag Newcastle, Commercial Maintenance New South Wales, Chamberlain Group Proprietary Limited, Healing Lane, Page the World Group New South Wales, the Everycam family, Absolute Crafting Services, Charlestown Private Hospital, Hair Spa.
Good afternoon and welcome to the CB Complex in Valentine for this afternoon's round 10 clash in the NPL Northern New South Wales. And for both Valentine and Lake Macquarie this afternoon presents crunch time. And despite being in round 10, the loser of this afternoon's clash will need a miracle to make it through to the finals if they go down in this afternoon's clash. The visiting side, the Roosters, they sit last at the moment, but in recent weeks they've showed signs of improvement. They had a draw last start against Broadmeadow Magic 2 weeks ago. And for Valentine Phoenix, they started the season in promising fashion, but they've had 5 straight losses. The question is, this afternoon, will a return home inspire them, or will the Roosters continue their steady improvement in recent weeks? Just one change for Valentine from that side who went down to Edgeworth last weekend, and that is Matt Paul coming into the side, pushing Jesse Fain back to the bench. For Lake Macquarie, 2 changes from their last NPL match 2 weeks ago. Cameron Holtzheimer returns along with Sam Webb, who's been competing at the Arafura Games. Charlie Cox and Jaden Barber drop back to the Pine for this round 10 clash. It's a beautiful start to the day in Lake Macquarie, but the overcast skies have rolled in. Darren Sills and Sam Griffin and Nick Webb alongside us. They're in very close proximity, about 1 metre away, so I'll try not to say anything too critical. Are we doing an interview with you, Silsey?
Hello.
Well, what are your thoughts on this afternoon's clash? Hang on, I'll turn it on. That might be good. There you go, you can talk now.
Oh, look, it's going to be battle of the cellar dwellers. I think Nick's over there, he's pretty happy. I'm happy. These are the easiest games in the world for us to, so it'll be good. Now, looking forward to it. It's a lovely day, and football's good. Now, look, Nick Webb's cuddling the referee. This is about as far as it gets.
We'll separate you if a fight ensues, all right?
Are we still on or not?
Yeah, we're still on.
And congratulations too, mate. It's a massive congratulations to Ben Homer for, I won't say it. Well done.
Thank you, Silsey. And I'll bring in Chris Turner before we get underway this afternoon.
That was interesting, Darren Sills. And I had a look at the odds for this afternoon. Good afternoon to all watching. Lake Macquarie $1.90 and Valentine at $3.20.
Very interesting. So the Phoenix from left to right of screen to start us off. And Chris Turner, question is, there's really no chances for these two sides left. If they want to make the top 4, who do you see getting the job done here this afternoon in this bottom of the table duel?
Well, look, Bart, the odds, I've just read them out. However, we saw election time yesterday and we saw the
a miracle.
Coalition party come back from nowhere. So it's really difficult to say. Look, you would think that Lake Macquarie would get this job done, but I'm on the understanding that Valentine are at full strength and they're set up ready to go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They've got a very strong midfield, the Phoenix. Matt Paul, Jacob Bailey, Ben Hay in there. So I'd say they'd come into this one slightly favoured. Brock Oakley, new recruit this season for the Phoenix. Just trying to drop one over the top in front of Matt Paul, who's back in the side. Really important addition this week, Matt Paul being back out there, adding that experience and also his quality as well. Ben Hay gets a touch. Now Campbell Ross on the ball for the Roosters. Was it may break here for the young man Campbell Ross. Falls for Sam Walker on the volley, and not his best effort, but worth a try from that kind of range with his quality. 4 goals already this season, CT, and in a season where the Roosters have struggled to find the back of the net, so that shows you his ability.
Yeah, it certainly does, and he was the leading goal scorer last year in a team that was at the bottom of the table, or the bottom end. So he's definitely a danger man for Valentine, that's for sure.
Well, it's Campbell Ross standing over the corner. He calls it in looking for the man we're talking about. Now Sam Webb. And the tough thing is, CT, Callum Bauer, he's another redhead out there playing for the Roosters now. Makes it a little more difficult now to pick himself and Sam Walker. You always think Lake Macquarie redhead, you think Sam Walker, but Callum Bauer's out there as well. New recruit from the Eagles. This one dropped in front of Mitch Hunter. Really important intervention from Josh Carroll there. Terrific stuff.
Yeah, it was a vital challenge, but just note, one's at the back, Bart, and one's up towards the front. That's all you got to really remember.
Good advice. Good advice. There's the long throw, flung in, falls for Miners. Took on the volley, and there was a bloke walking behind the goal who almost took one in the head. He wasn't actually watching play. We have had some dramas out here at CB Complex in the past, CT. I know you're writing something down, but I remember last year we had an issue with a ball boy. Is that right?
Well, we did. He was absolutely enthralled by the game. He was over the far side of the park. He was actually having a sleep, but I thought there was a medical issue. He was down that long. And then
you're such a caring person. You are such a caring person, CT.
I did tell a linesman to alert him I was running onto the park, and then I saw him roll up and hop up. So he was obviously wrapped in the game, but...
Exactly. Here's Sam Webb. As I mentioned pre-game, just come back from the Arafura Games playing for the Australian Indigenous Roos. In that tournament, they made the grand final, went down 5-0 unfortunately. Scored 4 goals across that tournament. But now he's back in Roosters colours. Now Matt Paul on the attack for Valentine, and it's Sam Webb who has to deal with it, with Nyan Kuru trying to find a way to goal at the back post. So corner kick for Nyan Kuru, who scored that superb bicycle in the first meeting between these two sides last year. Miners with the clearance. And Riley Russell will track that one down. He won't. It'll be a throw for the Valentine captain. He's 22 years of age. He's got the armband. Chris Brown out injured at the moment with a spine injury. Terrible spine injury. Wish him all the best in his recovery. Here's Holtzheimer winning possession back for the visiting Roosters. Now Mitch Hunter just got a toe in front of Russell there. The Roosters look to build some pressure, but the throw's going to go the Phoenix's way. A couple of other matches on this afternoon as well. Western and Edgeworth, and Maitland playing Adamstown, as well as this Lake Macquarie derby. Michael Brew, the good first touch to bring it under control. Lake Macquarie have dominated this rivalry of late. 2 consecutive wins. Russell calmly back to Perry Budden. 3 of the last 4 they've won. You're probably wondering why I'm having a bit of a chuckle. We're copping some abuse from the Valentine bench with the commentary box situated basically right next to both coaches. Here's Cameron Holtzheimer curling his pass in front of Michael Brew. Can he produce something at the end of it? It's a mazy run from Brew, and it took Brock Oakley's shoulder on the way through, and it's going to be another corner for the Roosters. So they're building a fair bit of pressure, the visitors at the moment. So here's Sam Webb. Standing over the corner, gets plenty of height on it and depth, and Canberra Ross tries to crane his neck around it. A little too difficult really from that kind of angle, but Callum Bauer gets his head to it. It's not going to trouble Perry Budden though. CT, I hate to bring this up considering where we are positioned, but Valentine have lost their last 5 by a combined margin of 22-6. So confidence is low defensively. I'll be looking for a boost this afternoon against a side who's also conceded a similar amount of goals, 24 this season. Both these sides have let in.
Well, look, in the positive tone of that, because we are within throwing punch distance, you got 3 midfielders in Bailey, Hay and Paul. So those 3 alone say you're never going to take them lightly. And with that, they've got a lot of attacking power. Those three in particular will be looking to get a hold of the game, get a good grip on it, and get the ball moved around. So possession on the deck for Valentine is key for me in this one, because the more those three get on the ball, the better they're going to be at the back end of the game. So they get on the ball early, they start to dominate. That's where they're going to be. That's what their strength is, in my opinion. So there's a positive rep. So we didn't cop a punch, Bart. However, that's a reality of what it is.
And you know what it's like to be playing in these kind of matches. Unfortunately, I'm going to say unfortunately this year and the last few years we haven't had relegation, so maybe not the same kind of intensity around it, but you still don't want to be on the bottom of the table. Tell me, you've been coaching sides that, not of your own fault, but you've come in halfway through a season, sides in a relegation scrap or bottom of the table. How do you deal with these kind of matches?
Well, there's a lot more pressure when it is relegation, and probably both coaches are a lot more relaxed because of it. However, just knowing the individuals within the group, everyone's competitive there. I guarantee you no one wants to lose this. I don't care whether you're playing for the wooden spoon or you're playing for first spot. It's the same level of intensity every time. You pull on the boots and you walk out over that white line, you're in. You're ready to go. And every single player will be totally committed to a victory today, Bart.
That's the kind of attitude that the Roosters brought against Broadmeadow Magic. Stu Plant gets in it. Touch for the Roosters, a rare early touch. Undefeated in 2 of their last 3. Lake Macquarie, round 7 they knocked over Adamstown 2-1. Mitch Hunter not quite having the legs to catch up with the ball, which was weighted a little heavily. They went down to Maitland 3-1 the week after, and then 2 weeks ago against Broadmeadow Magic, a 1-1 draw where they conceded late. They were so close to a huge upset there, the Roosters. But just a defeat a week and a half ago in the FFA Cup to Cessnock just took the wind out of their sails a little bit, but they get the opportunity to focus on the NPL now. Bauer. And for the passing between the lines, that's neat into play from the Roosters. Campbell Ross distributes wide for Michael Brew. And he's chipping towards goal, and Campbell Ross, he's been in the thick of the action so far, and he's not far away from at least getting a strike on target.
Good ball in from Brew. Hit with authority and some purpose about it, and certainly Ross there, he was in the thick of things, and there was some appeal for a penalty, which there was just bodies everywhere and everyone lunging at it. Referee not really in position to make a call on that one. Not physical position, but bodies everywhere. I think there was too much in it, to be honest.
Off the back of Bailey Garland. How impressive has he been? The former Edgeworth Eagle, who left the club last year, just too busy with work, but he's been able to make the trek to Valentine, a little bit closer to the Central Coast where I believe he's working, and he has scored 4 goals in the last 4 matches. So he's a man that Lake Macquarie will have to keep an eye on. Brock Oakley with a toe in. It's something that they've lacked the last 2 seasons, Valentine. He's a man that can score a bucket load of goals. Joel Wood was very much on his own last year.
Yeah, Joel Wood's certainly the guy that can put the ball in the back of the net. There's no doubt about that. They certainly will be wanting him today. There's no doubt about that. They've got Garland, Willard front in particular in that region. Be looking to put some goals away for Valentine.
Ball almost finding its way over the top of Brock Oakley. 9 Kuru. And now Sam Walker onto the run of Ross. Neat ball inside, and Hunter tees up Walker, who struck it straight at him. His fellow strike partner.
Big opportunity there for Lake Macquarie. It's sitting perfectly for Walker. Probably just needed to get it off the defender, and that one was struck with authority, so it would have troubled Budden. That's no doubt about that.
I've been really impressed, CT, with Campbell Ross so far. Getting himself about. This is our first look at Lake Macquarie this year on the match of the round on Bar TV in 2019.
He's very elusive, that's the thing, and he's light on his feet, so he's hard to track as a defender.
It's Harry Lane onto Bauer. And Bauer is a really good pickup for the Roosters, because that was an area where they were lacking players, with Adam Duggan leaving in the early part of the season to go back to Maitland as Brew along the turf, and Bobbled up. Brock Oakley got a boot to it.
Well,
Valentine are going to clean up via one of their new recruits, Ryan Smith. Gave it away. And now Ross rolls it to Webb. And they're going to win themselves a corner. They've had the better of it so far, the visiting Roosters.
yeah, so far they have. And just on Bowler, I did see Tom Walker on the bench, and I was a little bit confused by that, and he said he's getting too old. I'm not 100% sure about that, but if you look at the confidence of that group, Lake Macquarie, if he's on the bench.
Here's the ball falling for Bauer, and then Matt Paul got his head there. And now Miners dinking it up and over the top and bounce into the arms of Perry Budden. I can tell you, CT, whatever happens this afternoon, as long as it's not a draw, well, if it's a draw, we are going to get a drought-breaking result. You know, there hasn't been a draw in the league in this fixture since July 2008. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it when I was looking at the stats. No draws between Valentine and Lake Macquarie in a league match, so whether that be second division or in first division. As Aaron Nyankuru, space ahead of him, cuts it across goal. And despite their early dominance, Lake Macquarie, that was a terrific opportunity for home side.
Well, it was, and it's good, promising play. And you talk about the midfield as we were before. That's what they want to see. Valentine and Coach Sills will be just wanting to see more of that. He knows how important that is. The other thing about this park that we haven't mentioned is so big. It's a big park, so it opens itself up to more goals because there's just a lot more space. With that in mind,
it is called in. Harry Lane first to it. Thought there could have been a handball in there, but Ben Hayes got away with it. Now Bailey putting it back into the mixer. Sam Webb's clearance not great the first time. Nudged the header away. And now Garland on to Carroll. That's a decent delivery, and Stu Plant did well flying through the air. Now Jacob Bailey was on the ground at the back post. I didn't see that. He was claiming that he was knocked to ground and wanted a penalty. Because I didn't see it, I've got no opinion on it.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't catch it either, but however, here come Lakes again.
Well, Webb has Miners on the inside and he found him, but Josh Carroll again, very impressive defensively so far in this round 10 match in the NPL Northern New South Wales. Valentine Phoenix against Lake Macquarie Roosters. The Roosters sitting last against second last Valentine. They can find their way off the base of the ladder with a win, the Roosters. Just going back to that, so no draws in this fixture since 2008. Lake Macquarie have not won in 6 away matches, and Valentine haven't won at home this year. They've won just 1 of 14 matches here at the CB Complex since they moved here last season. So there's some good stats about this one. Not great reading if you're a Phoenix or Roosters fan. Miners. Touch around Bailey. And then just overhits the dink forward.
Walker saw that one was on and he was timing his run, but as you've just said, Bart, it was overhit. Lake Macquarie want to see more of that because that's the type of attack that they're capable of.
Just score updates from the other matches. Maitland have just scored and they lead Adamstown 1-0. I'll be able to tell you who scored the goal in just a second. One of the Swan boys. There's Luke Willard. Doesn't quite have the pace to, or does he? Harry Lane did well just to let that one run over the line. Up at Western. Western leading Edgeworth 1-0. And I can tell you, Western have not beaten Edgeworth at home at least, since 2015. I can still remember that game. Carl Thornton scored from a header. Huge result for the Bears, but that was the last season where they really challenged in the NPL as Sam Walker couldn't get around Brock Oakley, who got a toe in.
As far as the odds go for Western, they were sitting at $3.20 for that match, and Edgeworth $1.90.
We're not promoting betting here, by the way.
No,
you're just
not at all.
Providing a community service announcement.
That's all it is. And Maitland $1.65 against Adamstown Rosebuds, if you were betting.
Here's Webb. That's a dangerous ball. Riley Russell did terrifically well to deal with it. Here's Hay on to Carroll. Two former teammates, those two with the Lambton Jaffers. Back in 2016, Josh Carroll there alongside Ben Hay. As Campbell Ross gets involved once again. Mitch Hunter. Just the one goal for Mitch this season, and there's some friendly fire. It was Willard and Jacob Bailey going face over apex, barrelling himself to the ground. Looks to be all right. He's been in the wars so far.
Well, Bailey's a guy you don't want to get hurt.
And now Garland striding forward. Look to just slip in the turf there. It's a little bit soft underfoot. There's a few divots and out there. 9 Kuru. Takes on Webb. Great close control. Aaron 9 Kuru. And now falls to Ben Hay. We've seen him do that before, CT, and find it nestling in the back of the net.
Well, we did see him do that in 2017 or 16, I think it was, late in the game against Charlestown. It was a wonderful strike from Hay that day.
Yes, it was. 2017 when Lambton went all the way through to the grand final against Hamilton, that particular semi-final. And that's the goal that pretty much got the job done for them that year. Terrific call by UCT. You're all over Smudge that particular afternoon. Callum Power, Michael Brew. He's being afforded some time and space down that right edge. Riley Russell stopped him in his tracks though. And the captain rolls it to Naikuru. Neat touch to Ben Hay. Good movement this from Valentine inside their own half. It's going to break down with Wade Southall intervening, former Magic man who has been there since 2014, left the club at the end of 2018 and now linking up with Lake Macquarie. A few former Magic players out there. Sam Webb, Southall, Harry Lane as well. It's now Ryan Smith, himself formerly of Hamilton Olympic. And yesterday, Broadmeadow Magic 5-2 winners over the Jets Youth. And 2-2 draw between Lambton and Charlestown. So Magic going 4 points ahead at the top of the table. So that match between Edgeworth and Western is huge because if Western get the result there, Edgeworth 4 points behind Broadmeadow Magic. And while it's not a gap where you can say Magic are certain to win the comp, it's a sizable margin, that one. Here's Holtzheimer. And now Bauer to Brew. Lane pushes the pass in front of Southall. And he chips forward, but very much misguided and straight into the arms of the Valentine custodian. Both sides holding defensively firm so far. No clean sheets for either of them this season. Now Holtzheimer to Brew. Linking up with Walker. Here's Bauer. Lake Macquarie keen to be patient here in the build-up. Harry Lane stretches the legs, finds Campbell Ross, but his touch, one of the first times this afternoon, lets him down on that occasion. 9 Kuru. One-touch football from Ben Hay. The ball just does not spend much time at his feet, doesn't he? Just distributes it so quickly, Ben Hay. The importance of...
Well, that's what you want in your midfielders, isn't it? You want people like Hay who are able to stroke the ball around, and we saw a little earlier that strike he had on goal. That's what he's capable of. And Valentine will be looking for plenty of that from him.
A couple of goals this season. Scored in that defeat to Charlestown in round 8 and in round 2 in their draw against Western. You'll remember that goal. It was in about the 96th minute to equalise after Western scored late. Sam Walker is caught offside. Now, I was doing the stats on Sam Walker. 40 goals in his last 3.5 NPL seasons. So that's not including time in UFM where he scored a bucket load of goals. But that's so impressive. 40 goals.
Look, it sure is. And just keep in mind, he wasn't playing in top 4 sides with any of those seasons. So he's doing that sort of damage in a team that's been at the bottom end. And let's the bottom half of the table. So it's very impressive.
It's Matt Paul trying to get the jump on Harry Lane again. Sweeping up defensively. If he scores 10 more goals this season, which could be a possibility. Here's Mitch Hunter. He's teeing up Mitch Hunter on this occasion. Campbell Ross making the overlapping run. He decides not to use him, and Mitch Hunter has lobbed it up and over the top of Perry Budden, and the Roosters open the scoring. His second of the season, and a really important one in this Lake Macquarie derby.
That goal took a big deflection, but he won't care. It's in the back of the net, and it's Lake Macquarie 1, Valentine 0.
It was Sam Walker, played the ball. He scored 4 this season, but he's a terrific provider as well. There was a boot in there, and Perry Budden having the horrible job of watching that ball just float over his head and find its way into the back of the net. This whole time it was flying in there on Ben Hay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the challenge. Lake Macquarie desperate. Challenges like that, really what you want to see. There's nothing intentional meant or nasty about it. It's just, that's the level of fire they've got in them at the moment.
And it's been the Roosters who have dominated many of the chances so far and dominated a lot of possession. Can you tell us why, CT?
Well, look, what they've been doing well is they've been getting the ball into the top third, in their attacking third very quickly, and that's been key because Valentine have struggled to get out, but we see them now doing exactly what Lakes have been doing to them.
Ben Hay riding a couple of challenges, then he goes to ground, and Stammer is playing advantage, and he's going to come back and give the free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box. This is within range, if good enough here.
Well, it certainly is within range, and it's probably one of those ones where you've just got to pick out your spot without stating the obvious, but he's not going to have the luxury, I don't think, of really getting it comfortably over the wall because he's got to get it up and down pretty quickly. So we'll have a look to see how he shapes up on this one. That wall looks a little bit close for my liking.
Here's Bailey Garland, and it is straight into the wall. And he gets up and wins the header. That is a terrific win in the air from Garland, and it provided an opportunity for Jacob Bailey to have a strike on goal. It comes to naught, and now the Roosters with a chance to break, and Mitch Hunter got all tangled up in the end.
He gets another chance here, Bart, and his delivery wants to be better this time.
Here's Carroll swinging it in, falls for Willard. Terrific header. What a goal from Luke Willard. Just guides it into the back of the net. He has 4 for the season. They're equal top scorer. And Lake Macquarie lapsing at the back after scoring.
Like, first delivery was poor, but the second one was perfect. Met with a terrific header.
What a ball in as well from Josh Carroll, as you said, CT. Terrific ball, terrific header, 1-1.
That's exactly right. And look, this will be really important for the confidence of Valentine here because right now they've got a spring in their step. Jacob Bailey's lifting his team. He's telling them it's time to play. We see Matty Paul bringing his step as well, and he's chasing things down.
Well, all of a sudden, it was like a graveyard out there the first 15, 20 minutes. The intensity has just lifted. The temperature's gone up, CT.
Well, like I said at the
there's
start of the game, Bart, sorry, at the start of the game, and it's happening with us here as well, neither team wants to lose. Every single player is out playing first-team football because they're competitive, and I don't care what these guys play. They'll be playing tiddlywinks at home and they'll want to win it. So this will be important to both sides to get a result here this afternoon. And I'm just seeing the spring come back into step of Valentine, but the attack of Lake Macquarie being led by Sam Walker, Campbell Ross and co.
Well, CT, we're getting some messages through on our YouTube stream. And thanks to Kanga Bogo, he says Lakes are the best team ever.
Well, there you go. Kanga.
Kanga Bogo, thanks for watching this afternoon, whatever your real name is.
And Kanga and I have got something in common, and a soft spot for Lakes.
As this ball swung across the ground, 9 Kuru intervenes. And we're just talking about CT Lakes dominating possession and territory as well, really. Majority of the match played down Valentine's end of the ground, and then Valentine come up and strike with one of just a few early chances. Really good efficiency from the Phoenix.
And that's right.
Ben Hay. And now Holtzheimer winning back possession for the Roosters. Walker to Miners, striding through the middle of the ground. Walker trying to link up with Mitch Hunter as he did for the opening goal this afternoon. Now Hay. That pass took a little deflection off Walker, and now Matt Paul dinking it up and over the top for Garland, who was going for the chip, and the ball bounced really awkwardly up there and almost over Stewie Plant, but he did well to get the right paw to it and bring it under his control. That was like a trampoline about the penalty spot, CT.
Yeah, what a ball from Matty Paul. He just, I didn't mean that to make that rhyme, but what a ball in it.
Shakespeare, CT. You are Shakespeare.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what Valentine will want to be seeing, especially Coach Sills. We want to see much more of that type of activity.
There's Sam Walker. Oh, that was another awkward bounce for 9 Kuru, but he did well in the end to come across and ensure that play was just slow to touch. Will be a throw still to the Roosters, though, with Webb and Walker. Now Holtzheimer. Southall. Got a little nudge from Matt Paul as well for his troubles. Now Josh Carroll, who's been Valentine's best so far, doing some wonderful defensive work, and then a lovely ball in to set up Luke Willard for the Phoenix's first goal of the afternoon. To make it 1-1. Sam Webb has got speed to burn. He's been moved back into defence for Lake Macquarie this year. You'll remember he played a lot in the front third for Broadmeadow Magic, especially in the younger grades as well. 12 goals in the under-19s back in 2016. Just ball across Bailey, and Matt Paul was almost there. And the Phoenix bench knew just how close that was to being 2-1 up. So we move towards the half an hour mark, and it is 2-1 to Valentine Phoenix. And the deflection has come from Bailey Garland, I believe, in the end. And 2-1 the score now for Valentine. This game has turned around in a flash.
That's a great result there for Valentine. We're very excited about getting that goal. They're benched straight to their feet. We said after that last goal they got a spring in their step, and it's exactly what happened.
I think I'm just being told Bailey Garland's nickname is is Piggy, after Mark Riddell. Is that fair? Piggy, yeah, there you go. If you remember the rugby league player, Mark Riddell played for the Dragons and the Eels. He was a classic. I'll tell you about him in just a second, CT. Scored a try and then jumped the fence and actually pretended he was part of the crowd and clapped himself.
He did, the Piggy. We remember?
Yeah, what a legend.
That's one of the best celebrations you're going to see. Outside the lawnmower.
Love a good lawnmower. So Lake Macquarie all of a sudden find themselves behind. And defensively, they were so stout early on, and now they've conceded 2 in a matter of minutes. And Matt Paul, that pass asking too much of 9 Kuru.
So they go a goal behind Valentine. They come back, they're level. Got a spring in their step. Then they go 2-1 up. The key is for that level of competitiveness to stay throughout the rest of the game. Lake Macquarie are not going to go away here, and they're going to keep coming and coming and coming and coming in numbers. And we know how strong they are in their attack, and they've got fresh legs on the bench. So this game, you expect Bart's going to go the whole way.
Well, what a season Bailey Garland is having. That's 5 goals in 5 now. Well, not even 5 completed matches. This ball too deep and over the sideline. And that's 2 goals from Valentine, both scored from the head.
Campbell Ross did well to keep that ball in there.
Now Bailey Garland trying to slalom past Bow. That was a strong challenge, and he's given away the foul. That's cynical from Garland, and fair enough that he receives the yellow card.
You can see what it means to him as well. He's pumped up after his goal and just needs to make sure he doesn't do anything silly for the rest of the match, because they don't want to be playing with 10 men against a side that looks like they've come here to definitely to get some points out of today.
Just a quick update. Maitland leading Adamstown 1-0. Michael Brew riding a couple of challenges. Can he get the left boot free? And I'll just get in there. Western 1-0 over Edgeworth. It's a bit of an upset brewing there potentially. It is a tough place to go. And it's curled across. Miners gets a toe in. And somehow it's found its way over the goal.
Oh, desperately close. And
I thought that was in.
You won't be able to see Coach Nick Webb, but he had his hands up on his head, and why wouldn't he? Rubbing his eyes, can't believe what he's seeing. Just wants it to drop. You can see how much it means to both these sides. The Battle of the Lake. Both Lake Macquarie sides.
Well, it's a clash you want to win. Bragging rights, and Lake Macquarie won both matches last year. 6-1 in round 5 and 2-1 in round 16. Sam Walker with that late winner in that 2-1 win. I think it went down as a deflection off Wilson Edwards, but he deserved the credit because he did all the work. Here's a free kick going the way of the Phoenix. It's going their way at the moment as we move towards half-time.
Alzheimer really making his intention pretty clear there with Bailey. Jacob Bailey's had a couple of shots put on him this afternoon.
Here's Willard, already with 1 this afternoon. Making it 4 for the season. What a season. He's having a breakout season. That's actually his best in the NPL Northern New South Wales. Even at 3, that was his best ever season, goal-scoring wise. He's breaking new ground in his 3rd year with Valentine. Riley Russell just had to get on the bike there for a little moment. Perry Budden just buying a gap, and then Ben Hay with the back heel up and over the top, but Garland just not on the same page. Here is Bailey Garland looking for a second. He was looking to pick out that near post, the top corner. Couldn't quite do so, but Lake Macquarie are looking a little fragile at the back.
Well, Jacob Bailey had loved that time again. I mean, he did everything right. He was rock solid in his tackling, won it. He's got options. And he's just overhit that pass to Garland. And he might have just had a touch of adrenaline, and he just overhit that. I thought he was going to put it on a platter, and in the end made it pretty hard for an angle for Garland, who still didn't hold back in his strike and didn't miss the top corner by that much. This game is wide open at the moment. If you've just joined us, Valentine 2, Lake Macquarie 1.
It's been an entertaining contest, this one, inside the final 9 minutes of the first half. And this is a really important match, as we mentioned, for both sides, but especially for Valentine, because they have got a couple of matches in hand on the sides above them. So if they get the result here, they're on 7 points. They get a victory in their next catch-up match, which is actually against Maitland. That is the one match they've got to catch up. That is still a while away, though. And they get themselves up to 10 points, as we see Stammer giving the free kick to Lake Macquarie. And that would put them about 4 points outside the top 4, which is a margin which you can rein in with some good results. You have to get the results, though. So Sam Walker, who set up the opening goal for Lakes. Mitch Hunter, the man who profited from that. He's standing over this one. It is a long way from goal, though. He's going to just try and chip it up and over the top, and it was Ryan Smith who got there highest. Brew, and then Josh Carroll again in the air. Now Sam Webb. 9 Kuru. Just jockeying him. That would not have tickled. Sam Webb, that has got him where you never want to be struck, and he's doing...
right in the batteries.
Well, he's gone down. Yeah, he was doing well to run it out, because it is very difficult to run when you get hit in that kind of region. Michael Brewer, now Sam Walker. Touch evades him. You just need to take deep breaths. He is in all sorts, Sam Webb, but credit to him, the way he's running it out. Well, maybe not. I've seen a lot of players just go down and stay down for a good 3 minutes after getting hit, but he's soldiering on.
Well, he's down on his haunches again.
It was such an awkward deflection. Straight up into the lap.
What is it? Don't rub him, just count him.
Holtzheimer. Now Southall. I try not to laugh and just carry on, CT. It's Harry Lane. Tries to angle the pass between the lines towards Daniel Miners. Oh, here's a challenge from Holtzheimer. He went straight at Ben Hay, didn't worry about the ball. And now Ben Hay spots Stu Plant off his line, and he hasn't missed by much. Plant had it covered, but not a bad option there.
It's almost a drop kick there from Plant.
Man who's come across from the UK. As they've given away the ball again, it's been all Valentine since they made it 2-1. Here's Willard, finds Matt Paul. And that's just too powerful for even Matt Paul to run down. He runs all day. Triathlete as well as a football player. Ben Hay to 9 Kuru. Angles a pass towards Bailey. It was Michael Brew sweeping across the turf. 9 Kuru on the bounce to Josh Carroll, who's set up their opening goal with a ball in from that kind of angle, and Michael Brew is the man who has to deal with it for Lake Macquarie. Holtzheimer brings it away. Now Carroll onto Jacob Bailey, who nudges the pass straight to Sam Webb, falls for Carroll. And now Matt Paul wins the free kick. Smart play from him, and Michael Brew just lunging in there and giving away the foul.
Well, this one's a little bit further out for them. It gives us that opportunity that we didn't have in the first strike, depending on who's taking it, but it's far enough out. And what I was referring to earlier, it was probably a little bit too close to get up and over the wall comfortably, and we saw that one get hit straight into the wall. This one's a little bit further out. And really the ideal range. As a free kick taker, this is the distance you like it.
So Ben Hay standing over it. Very angled run up and getting plenty of bend and drop, but not enough in the end.
Yeah, he's disappointed with that.
What about the angle? It was a very acute angle, wasn't it? His run up to the ball.
Yeah,
you just see he was really trying to get under and whip that. As Garland wins back possession for Valentine. That's a huge moment because Matt Paul, well, was just too far in front of him for him to catch up with. Sam Webb on the bounce. Now Mitch Hunter. Spent some time playing football in Germany before he came back to play for the Jets and Adamstown before linking up with Lake Macquarie.
Brock Oakley's done well there. He really shadowed the play right out into the back third of Lake Macquarie and then got quickly back into position. Got some high fives from his teammates.
Carroll.
Good job, well done.
Now Ben Hay, the bright orange boots going well with the Phoenix colours. Garland and Carroll. Dinking it up the line. Matt Paul, well, he was hoping it would bounce in front of him. Instead, it clocked him on the back of the head, but danger not gone here for Lake Macquarie. Garland got it to Willard. Neat link-up play, and Stu Plant smartly off his line to collect the ball. Webb. His former Magic teammate, Southall. Michael Brew galloping forward. Now Sam Webb really putting in an effort to get down towards that ball, and he's going to win his side a corner, and they really would love a goal here before half-time.
Terrific tackle there from Riley Russell. That was a really good clean when sometimes those can go wrong and results in a penalty. This time Walker gets off the ball, off the corner, and he finds himself in the box. He's looking to get himself on the score sheet before half-time.
Final 90 seconds before we move into stoppage time. Webb's ball. Well, wasn't it terrible ball? There was just no one there at the back post. Bouncing in the middle of everyone. And now Valentine, an opportunity to break quickly, and Ben Hay just let it slip through under his boot. Josh Carroll quickly up and intervenes for Valentine. He's been close to one of the best players on the park, Josh Carroll, CT. He has stood tall in this first half. He was actually the man substituted after Perry Budden was sent off against Broadmeadow Magic in round 7 in that 9-1 defeat. And he looks so disappointed. Well, he's making up for lost time here this afternoon. Nine Kuru. And now Paul. He was collected late. Well, he thought he was. Callum Stammer, the referee, didn't think so. And there's a bit of push and shove here between Holtzheimer and Matt Paul. Forehead to forehead. Having a bit of a conversation as well.
And then Brew comes into the action late, unnecessarily. You can just see the passion in this game, though. It's
Well, Callum Stammer is having a chat now to Matt Paul about that. There is some fire in this Lake Macquarie derby.
I was saying before, Bart, it doesn't matter where you're running on the table. Both sides want to win this, and desperately. And Matt Paul, I feel like he was potentially, he should have had a free kick in that incident. It wasn't given. There's a ton of frustration and competitiveness about it.
Josh Carroll just heaves this one up the ground, and Callum Stammer says that will do us for the opening 45 minutes in round 10 of the NPL Northern New South Wales. And after going behind midway through the first half, Valentine were able to put themselves in front. Two-headed goals, Luke Willard and then Bailey Garland, their two leading scorers, coming up trumps. And it means at half-time, it's Valentine Phoenix 2, leading Lake Macquarie Roosters 1, as the Phoenix look to win just their second match in 15 here at the CB complex since the start of last season. That is not a record that you want, and one that they want to turn around.
Yeah, look, the summary of that first half is that Lake Macquarie dominated early possession, got a goal that they deserved, and then Valentine got one back and then got a spring in their step and continued on with it and worked their way into the game well, Bart. And I think with a second half performance, if they can repeat that level of competitiveness for the second half, they'll be hard to track down. However, Lake Macquarie have got a lot of firepower and they're going to be hard to hold out. So it should be a very interesting second half.
Well, just before we have a break for 10, I just want to ask you, what changed in the match? We know Lake Macquarie early on controlled much of possession down the attacking end in the front third, and then all of a sudden Valentine got themselves a goal, got themselves a second goal, and then they dominated the match from there. Why? How did that happen?
Well, we talk about momentum a lot. I love the look of the midfield of Hay, Bailey and Matty Paul. Those three are all particularly good players. And I said right at the beginning, you get them on the ball more often, and it's where the key is. Just that momentum shift when the goal was scored, Bart, that was the difference. You could see every player had lifted, and those three had got on the ball often, and now they're dominating.
Well, we're going to take a quick break for 10. We'll be back shortly. It's Valentine 2, Lake Macquarie 1. Welcome back to the CB Complex in Valentine, round 10 of the NPL Northern New South Wales. Ben Homer with you in commentary for this one, alongside Chris Turner, who is just feeding his face at the moment, so he'll be back shortly. Lake Macquarie down by 2-1 at half-time. They'll be running from left to right of screen in their blue away kit. The Phoenix with 2 goals coming from behind. They're back underway in the second 45 minutes via Sam Walker. And their only win so far this season, Valentine, came from 1-0 down when they played Adamstown in round 1. So they know how to fight back the Phoenix. It's Jacob Bailey to 9 Kuru. Now Josh Carroll, who was so impressive in that opening 45 minutes, drops in front of Ben Hay. And it's been all Valentine since they made it 2-1. They've just had the momentum and the confidence. Sam Webb curling it into the path of Hunter Walker via Mitch Hunter. Perry Budden controlling at the back for Valentine. Now Ryan Smith looping the pass into no man's land, but Jacob Bailey picks it up. Now Carroll drops it in front of Bailey Garland, who's already scored 1 this afternoon. Can he set one up here for Luke Willard, who is closing in on that back post? Matt Paul keeping it inside the line. Can he link up with Ryan Smith? He can in the end. Maybe not by design in the end, but it's a decent ball. Lake Macquarie dealing with it. Brock Oakley up there, highest for Valentine. And Jacob Bailey coming right through the middle. Here's 9 Kuru. He turned to win possession as Sam Walker approached. The ball bouncing on the edge of the box, but referee Cal Stammer saying a foul in there, and it's Cal Bauer, who's not in a good way, who's fallen very awkwardly. Free kick will go the way of the visiting Lake Macquarie Roosters, who open the scoring through Mitch Hunter midway through the first half. And every precaution just being taken at the moment with Cal Barry slow to his feet, but looks to be okay, which is good news. Started the season at Edgeworth. Didn't get too much game time at the defending premiers. Came across to Lake Macquarie, really an area where they were lacking centre-backs, and he's slotted in there nicely, but this would be a huge blow if they were to lose him. He does seem to be struggling a touch. Let's hope for Lake Macquarie's sake that he can continue, but he's just taking a few deep breaths. So Stu Plant to get us back underway, the English goalkeeper. Last clean sheet for him, June last year against Charlestown City Blues, and for Valentine, round 6 last year, so it's been a while, and once again this afternoon, there will be no clean sheet for either side. Ben Hay, now to Jacob Bailey. Curls it with the outside of his boot into Brock Oakley. Well, now Carroll just overhits the pass in front of 9 Kuru. Building some pressure here though. Josh Carroll with the throw. It's a long throw into the box. And Cal Bauer back into the thick of the action, recovering from that awkward fall, which is good to see. Ryan Smith chipping forward. Bauer wins it in the air. And now 9 Kuru. Can he snap a shot at goal? He'd score against the Roosters last year. Fire a bicycle kick, and now Carroll, that's not a bad ball, but Stu Plant up to the task in the air. just on the edge of his 6-yard box. Sam Walker and Daniel Minus linking up. All comes to naught, though, for the Roosters in the end. Here's Matt Paul. Finds Carroll. Stumbles. He copped a bump from Campbell Ross. Slight as it was. Enough to knock him off balance and win the free kick. Ryan Smith. He's been relatively quiet this afternoon. Former Jets youth man and Hamilton Olympic player. Left back for Valentine. And Chris Turner, after an hour walk from the clubhouse to the commentary position, it's good to have you back. You chatted to just about everyone on the way. I was watching you. And now you're finally back. So it's good to have someone to talk to here. Nine Kuru here with a Willard. I'll keep everyone just waiting a little bit longer, but Matt Paul is offside.
It's good to be back, Bart. A cup of tea and a bit of chocolate.
Well, there's a couple of red frogs here for you if you want to.
Yeah, I might tuck into one of those shortly. But speaking of being away for a little bit of length of time, what about our mate Smudge? Now, this guy has been to 2 games this year. 2 games and we're in round...
Three games.
3,
let's be fair. He's been to 3.
3.
Yep.
And we're in round what?
Round 10.
There we go.
Ryan Smith. Yes, keep going with this.
And I was actually thinking about him on my wandering back, wondering how the rugby league match is that he's at this afternoon.
Yeah, he's sitting in the Prince of Wales Hotel watching the Knights, who are actually up 38-0. Could be worse now for the Dragons. They're up 38-0, the Knights, at the moment. I'll just double-check that as Josh Carroll bounces in front of Willard. 38-10, actually. And now Willard looking for his second, and Stuart Plant couldn't get there, and he scored a double. For the second time this season, Luke Willard had 2 headers. What an afternoon for him. So 2 headed goals for Willard, 3 for Valentine as a whole. And it's 3-1 now to the home side. Could they be about to get their first home win in 2019 CT?
Well, great ball into the box. Garland really opened the face of the goal up and put it exactly where it had to go and gave Plant absolutely no chance.
Well, they want more. Perry Budden wants more. So Luke Willard says, whatever you can do, Bailey Garland, I can do as well. They've both got 5 goals for the season now. And the issue Valentine were having last season, having a few goal scorers, they've got a couple now on 5. So really impressive for them, and Lake Macquarie leaking goals again. It's been a problem for them this year. That's 27 conceded now in this, their 9th match. So they're conceding an average of 3 goals per match. As they give away the ball again, Jacob Bailey looks up and finds 9 Kuru, curls it wide to Matt Paul. This could put the dagger in if they make it 4, and it is 4. And it's an own goal. So 4 goals for Valentine, 4 have come off the head, 3 of their own players, and on that occasion, sadly for Cal Bauer, it's hit him, and they are well clear now.
Well, that goal for Valentine was all about the delivery into the box, and I believe it was Matt Paul who swung that ball in and swung it in. That's why that ball's so dangerous, because it's hit in with power at head height, and it can go anywhere, and on that occasion it did. And it went anywhere into the back of the net.
Here's Campbell Ross. Can they get themselves back into the match? Will appeals about a penalty there, but Brock Oakley was there. Well, there will be a free kick here going the Roosters' way. Is he going to the pocket? He's not. He's going to just go and have a chat to Bailey Garland. So 4-1, they've just shot out of the blocks to start the second half. is there anything in that four-headed goals? Is that Lake Macquarie not winning the ball in the air in the penalty area? Sam Webb curls it in. Well, I thought the ball was going to find its way to the back of the net again. The amount of goals we've seen scored from the head this afternoon.
Look, I wouldn't read too much into that. There's been some headers going, that's for sure, but that's just, the crosses have been of good quality this afternoon, and it's resulted in that.
I'm just thinking back, they have had problems dealing with crosses, I know, this year. Lake Macquarie, round one against Lambton Jaffers. They went down 5-1, and 4 of the goals they conceded came from crosses, so they do have an issue. They are susceptible in that area, the Roosters. There's Ryan Smith. Hits it back to Perry Budden. And his ball is misguided. Sam Webb with the touch. And it's going to find its way over the sideline. There was a bit of urgency there. Well, the ball has actually stayed inside the line. It's spun very oddly and stayed inside the line. And in the end, it's a throw for Valentine. So Lake Macquarie just about to make a change. And I will update the scores around the grounds. A couple of big matches going on this afternoon. Maitland and Adamstown. Currently that one being played at Cook Square Park. And Maitland are leading by a goal to nil. It's Bailey Garland rides the challenge. And well, out comes a red card. Now, that was off the ball, and I was watching the play, and it's both. So Callan Stammer is sent off both players here. Holtzheimer is one. And who is the other man to be sent here? Is it Brock Oakley? It's definitely Brock Oakley who's been sent, CT, and I don't know if you saw that out of your peripheral vision, but I did not at all. Just updating the score. Western and Edgeworth are at 1-1 at the moment. So Edgeworth have equalised. And Callan Stammer did not miss that at all. So Holtzheimer gone. And who is the other man to follow him? I saw... Oh, it's Jacob Bailey, sorry. I'm blind. Jacob Bailey is walking down. But this is the issue. They probably should be made to just take their time, because they're both going to end up at the gate in the same time.
Well, this is a big blow for Valentine as well as Lake Macquarie. I mentioned Bailey in the middle of the park earlier, and he's a real playmaker for them. He's a guy that does a lot of work that goes unnoticed, wins the ball, drops it off, wins the ball, drops it off. That's his game. And so Valentine will readjust to accommodate him, of course.
And if you look at the Bar TV vision, I'm just checking this now. We might come back to it in a second, but you may see it just in the corner of the screen. We'll try and have a look, CT, when we do have a stoppage, and give people our thoughts on what happened. It's Josh Carroll again. That right boot working a treat with balls into the box, but Lake Macquarie on this occasion deal with it. Jaden Barber has gone out there for Lake Macquarie in the meantime. He's come off the bench. And Valentine about to make a couple of changes as well. So the Lake Macquarie derby really heating up, with a bit of push and shove in the middle of the park, but in a sense maybe that took the emotion out of it, because it was Holtzheimer involved in the first half as well, CT. Bauer towards Walker. There's Lane letting it run on to Jaden Barber, another man who's transferred from Broadmeadow Magic to Lake Macquarie in the off-season. And here we go, CT. So it was really just a bit of push and shove, and then you probably can't see what happens on the screen if you want to watch back that replay. It was a push from Holtzheimer on Jacob Bailey up around the chops, and they went on with it. Walker trying to dink towards Harry Lane. Matt Paul. And now Walker. Picked out Hunter. Not to the same level, though, as that first half opening goal. Wasn't that? Well, doesn't that feel like an age ago now? Lake Macquarie leading by a goal to 0. Michael Brew. Here's Campbell Ross. Brock Oakley coming across and maybe just collected him slightly. Play allowed to go on. Lane gets right under that one, and Perry Budden did well in the end because it was dropping towards the far post.
Yeah, didn't he ever? He was just scrambling back. It was headed for the top corner and just got his fingertips to it. I thought, and maybe he didn't get a touch at all because it's a goal kick.
Well, CT, just looking at the stats here, so Lake Macquarie have scored first in 3 matches now, and they haven't won any of them. If they don't win this afternoon, none from 3. Is that a concern for them, not being able to hold on to a lead? Does that show you the inexperience that they've got out there?
Well, speaking of inexperience, they're bringing the old man on, Tom Walker. He's likely to play in the middle of the back, you would expect. Not 100% sure because he's talking to Gary Rowe and he's pointing towards the top end of the park, so it'll be interesting to see where he plays.
Well, he will be the oldest man out there, 30 years of age. Josh Murray.
Sorry, Bart, he can score goals. Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
Yeah, Josh Murray's just about to come on as well for Valentine. He's going to replace Matt Paul. So Matt Paul just being put in cotton wool, you sense. Darren Sills and Sam Griffin feeling the job is done. Wade Southall, the man to be removed for Lake Macquarie. Very happy, the Valentine bench. Oakley curls it and it drops for Ryan Smith. Not the purchase on the ball he would have liked, and Campbell Ross picks it up in the midfield for Lake Macquarie, looking to move it quickly. Here's Michael Brew. Riley Russell, the captain for Valentine, picking it out, and then Sam Walker. Well, was he in 2 minds there, CT, or was that just an attempted pile driver from range, and he just got it all horribly wrong?
I think the latter, Bart. I think the latter. This is a really big park. And playing with 10 men each side, they'll be feeling the pinch by the end of this game. There's no doubt about that.
Jaden Barber and a Walker dribbles off his head back to Brew. So tell me, what are Lake Macquarie doing from here as Plant has sprayed this one towards the line? And they've done well, Lake Macquarie, via Harry Lane to keep it inside. And now they win the free kick.
Well, look, your first thought, if you're Lake Macquarie, is we have to attack. There's no use just trying to hang on to anything here. You've really got to throw some caution to the wind and get yourself out there. Tom Walker has found himself in the back line. Wasn't sure what was happening there with that discussion, but here they come.
Well, Jaden Barber, he had some space and he's still going. Links up, Sam Walker shouldn't miss from there, and the goal fest continues at the CB complex. Provider for the first, he scores the second, and it's 4-2.
Well, that's Sam Walker at his best right there. He picks up some scraps.
Well, we knew there was going to be goals this afternoon, didn't we? 2 sides with the worst defence in the league. There had to be goals, and there have been.
Look, that one was right on cue with what we were talking about. They've got to take some risks. They've done. You can see the desperation, and now Lake Macquarie feeling like they've got to sniff back into this game.
And it's 10 on 10 as well. So as you said, big park, and there's going to be a whole lot more space out there with 2 midfielders sent off. One from Lake Macquarie, Cameron Holtzheimer, and Jacob Bailey from Valentine. So this is going to be open and entertaining as Nyan Kuru calls it back. It's a Lake Macquarie derby which has had basically everything. Now Sam Walker rides a couple of challenges, and the amount of goals that we've seen so far, you wouldn't put it past Lake Macquarie to find a couple. But you sense Valentine will probably be able to find some at the other end. Nyan Kuru had the strike, and Stu Plant took it as easy as you like. He made that look really easy, but it was a decent strike from Nyan Kuru. Yet to score this season for the Phoenix. Josh Murray, the substitute, is out there now. Willard. Curling it up and high. It bounced awkwardly, and Michael Brew. Well, I thought he slipped there, CT. I think Nyan Kuru is unlucky to have that foul go against him. I thought the turf just gave way under Brew's boot.
Look, it is, talking to a couple of the players before the game from the previous match, a little bit heavy underfoot in patches on this ground. So it wouldn't surprise me if he did have a slip there, Bart.
Well, great to have your company wherever you're watching. Valentine, Lake Macquarie derby. And it is 4-2 to the Phoenix, and both sides down to 10. Brock Oakley wins the ball in the air. That was after a push and shove from Cameron Holtzheimer and Jacob Bailey, probably about 10 minutes ago now. It's Nyan Kuru to Garland, holding it up well, but Cal Bauer is not letting him get away. Both formerly of Edgeworth, but they didn't play together at the time. And now Willard, he's almost been teed up there by Tom Walker, and he has his sights set on a hat-trick. How good would that be for the former Jets youth man? Played with Lambton as well. He's starring for the Valentine Phoenix this season. Here's Mitch Hunter. He did have Budden off his line, opted just to control the ball, and he just dwelled on possession for far too long, and Ryan Smith picks up the ball. Murray. Now Josh Carroll by the head of Walker. Now Brew. Here's Sam Walker rolling it wide to his brother Tom. Can he deliver a dangerous ball here, Tom Walker? Well, it wasn't a great delivery, but it's not a bad result. Off Brock Oakley, corner kick for Lake Macquarie.
You can sense here that if another goal does fall away of Lake Macquarie, then they'll really be thinking they can get on and go on with it and get a victory. That might be what Valentine are planning or thinking. They'll just be thinking, all right, we'll clear this one out and get up the other end of the park. And as this game goes on, legs will be more tired.
Ross rips that one across goal, and Hunter and Oakley came together, and it's come off Mitch Hunter last. Both coaches shaking their heads, believing it was another corner. Not the case, though. It's tough being a referee, CT. Those kind of situations. The ball is bouncing at close proximity and ricocheting around. Well, I thought Cal Stammer has done a pretty decent job this afternoon, to be honest.
I'm sure if you're asking the two boys that were sent off whether he had them, they might say something different. But
I thought it was a fair enough decision.
Either way, there's 20 players out in the park, not 22. And there's two ways that you can look at this on a big park. You know, you manage your style and you play a lot more possession, so you're saving some energy, or you're really going flat out, as Lake Macquarie are doing right now, to get another one back.
Well, Bailey Garland has just gone down, and maybe his afternoon is over. Looks to be the end of the section for him. A goal this afternoon. Willard with a couple. And an own goal scored by Cal Bauer. And for Lake Macquarie, it's been Walker and Hunter who have got on the board for them. And this will just take a little bit more time out of the match.
Starting to cool down here a little bit, but
beautiful afternoon, isn't it, at CB Complex? It is a beautiful part of the world, Lake Macquarie. And if there's anyone watching that doesn't, or hasn't, is not from the area, make sure you come and visit this beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, it certainly is, and
we're not being paid. We're not being paid to advertise.
No, definitely not. But it is a beautiful part of our region.
So heading out there is Connor Motherway, replacing Bailey Garland. Did his job this afternoon, scored one. Got himself about. And after a lengthy delay, we're back underway. So Campbell Ross, the neat turn, has Jaden Barber ahead of him who made that mazy run before. And here's a free kick. Barber was collected. Out comes the yellow card. Free kick the way of Lake Macquarie. They're just starting to build a touch of momentum here. And the trainer is heading out there just to give Jaden Barber a hand, who was collected there in the challenge. And Lake Macquarie here, CT, it's looking up for them at the moment. They're just finding a second wind here. So there's a red card at Cook Square Park, the way of Adamstown. So Maitland leading 1-0 and Adamstown down to 10. That is going to be very, very difficult for the Rosebuds to overcome. And Western are 2-1 up against Edgeworth. Remembering that if Edgeworth lose that, there's a 4-point gap at the top of the table that Broadmeadow Magic would have opened up over the Eagles. And Western Bears, with 3 points against with 3 points against Edgeworth, Western will move up to 16 points, which means that they will move into equal second. Obviously, goal difference comes into that as well. They'll move into third, just above the Jets Youth. So it'll be Magic, 4 points clear of Edgeworth from Western, and then the Jets Youth rounding out the top four if scores stay the same at the moment. So Charlie Cox is out there for Lake Macquarie. Very diminutive, speedy player. Actually scored his one and only NPL goal a couple of years ago up at Rockwell Automation Park. It was a terrific strike from outside the box.
This one's a long way out, but I won't be surprised to see if he actually has a go here, and does.
Well, he dinks it, and Perry Budden did well. He had Brock Oakley, who almost got caught up in a tangle with him, his big centre back. And now Sam Walker with space around him. Can he find time to pick the pass? He just goes for goal and hits the side netting.
Well, look at him. He's on fire. He's had a go. He probably could have cut it back. He's just looking to take matters into his own hands. The ball goes out for a goal kick and he goes and collects it. Took the job away from the ball boy. He wants to get on with it.
Final 20 minutes. And I'll tell you, neither of these two sides, we're not in the period yet, but we are approaching the final 15. Neither of these sides have scored a goal in the final 15 minutes this season. Valentine have conceded 5 in that period. Lake Macquarie, the worst in the competition. They've conceded 7. So is there a late sting from either of these two sides based on the stats? You sense there might be. Here's a yellow card. Brock Oakley trying to slow things down. And he's been sent off, Brock Oakley, because that's his second yellow. And Valentine are down to 9.
Well, Darren Sills will be filthy about that.
You sit there because that's where you belong.
Well, it is getting a little tense here on the sideline. So, what an incredible topsy-turvy match this has been. Valentine down to 9. Lakes have got 10 men out there. 3 red cards, 6 goals.
20 minutes to go on a big park. Do you want to be Coach Darren Sills at the moment? Probably not. He's got some thinking to do. He's got no hair. He's turned around and pulled it out. At least he gets a smile on his face. This is where you earn your money, the coaching staff. They've got to think about how they're going to adjust with just 9. Everything you work on at training doesn't normally suit around playing with 9 men.
Well, it's just a disappointing yellow card, isn't it? When you're already on a yellow.
Well, look, might be a while since I've played, but one thing I was always conscious of when you are on a yellow, you've just got in the back of your mind nothing out of character, nothing out of the ordinary. You just get on and play, and do exactly what Tom Walker was doing there. Not get involved, just be competitive. And unfortunately for Valentine,
well, it's not often you can have a chat to someone else in the change room who's also been sent off. But that's the case for Jacob Bailey and Brock Oakley. It's Michael Brew with a deflected shot. Perry Budden there at the near post. He's going to try and launch this one long. So can they take advantage of the extra man? Well, it is tense now. Throw goes the way of Lake Macquarie. Tensions are high now. Even though it's a 2-goal lead for Valentine, we know that 2-goal leads are never safe. It's Tom Walker. Lake Macquarie with all the momentum at the moment. And 9 Kuru wins the ball back for the Phoenix. The bad news for them is they are going to be without Oakley and Bailey next week. Huge losses.
yeah, that's the last thing on the mind of the coaching staff here for Valentine. They just see this one out every second, every minute important.
Well, that's our job, CT. Look ahead. Play Hamilton Olympic. That's actually Reece Cooper's 100th match for Olympic next Saturday afternoon. It's Campbell Ross striding forward, threading the ball to Mitch Hunter. Can he deliver across goal? He can, and somehow there's no one there. Well, it won't matter because it's a penalty. And is there a card here? There isn't. Well, it is going to be a card. It's going to be yellow in colour for Ben Hay. And all of a sudden, this match has taken an about face in an incredible way. 4-1. They were leading, Valentine. Now it's 4-3. I should say 4-2. Could be 4-3 if Sam Walker can put this one away. And they've got a man advantage.
Well, something you don't see too often is both coaches mid-match having a chat in a very calm way about what was going on. And I think they're both in agreement with whatever's being said. And we've got Walker at the penalty spot.
So Sam Walker versus Perry Budden. This is to make it 6 for the season for Sam Walker.
He's already got 1 this afternoon. Can he make it 2?
Remembering that this would be Lake Macquarie's 12th of the season, and Perry Budden makes the save, and Sam Walker does not make any mistake with the rebound, as you would expect. So 6 goals for him this season. Half of Lake Macquarie's goals scored by their star striker. He means so much to them. He won them the match here last year in round 16. Could he do the same here? 4-3, Valentine lead inside the final 15 minutes now. So for the first time this season, Lake Macquarie have scored in the last 15. Can they make it another one and make it 4-4? Walker gets his head to it. Mitch Hunter trying to stride through, but Josh Murray mopping up for Valentine. Harry Lane, he has got a motor, hasn't he? Running all day. Charlie Cox, he's going to play a crucial role in these last 15.
Every player out in the park here for Valentine's going to be in full defensive mode.
Well, if you pay the price of admission to get in here to CB Complex, you've got your money's worth. Harry Lane. And now Tom Walker. Entertainment Plus. Campbell Ross delivering just over the head of Harry Lane. But it's all the Roosters at the moment.
Well, look, let's not forget, it's Valentine 4, Lake Macquarie 3, a bit over 10 minutes to go, I guess, Bart. Under normal circumstances, you'd be thinking, all right, you know, we just need to consolidate, play some possession football. But the reality is for Valentine, they've got 9 men on the park, 2 send-offs. Lake Macquarie with 10 players and dominant at the moment.
They're just standing around there, Roosters players, and it allowed 9 Kuru to win back possession for Valentine. And now Willard links up with Motherway. down towards the corner flag, and Harry Lane wins back possession to a 4, I should say, Lake Macquarie. Tom Walker, hasn't the match turned since he's gone out there? The veteran, a 30-year-old. Striding forward, and now Michael Brew with the overlapping run.
Walker unmarked, back stick.
He's gone from start to finish, and he just lashes a shot towards goal. Maybe it would have been the prime opportunity to consider a ball into the box. As you said, CT, Sam Walker was unmarked to the back post. That's
right. I mean, what Valentine have got to do now is make sure every player is behind the ball when they're defending, because they've only got 9. And they're a bit slow getting out after that attack fell over.
Well, thanks to Multi Apples on YouTube, says great game. It's been drama-filled, this one, as Walker and Carroll shoulder to shoulder. Nothing in it, according to the referee, as Brew rides a couple. Still going, Michael Brew. Well, he's beaten everyone. He goes to ground. It's very much a ruck and maul for the ball, and it's going to be a free kick to Valentine at the end of all that. And out comes another yellow card.
He's given that yellow card to Michael Brew. I'm not sure why. I think it was maybe he was carrying on with it a bit on the ground. Couldn't really see from here. Either way, Ben Hay got a knock took a kick, earned them a free kick. So they'll very much take their time in getting this one back into play.
So Perry Budden, this is route 1. Launch it down the other end of the park. And Lake Macquarie going to try and return it with interest. So it's last versus second last. Lake Macquarie trying to climb themselves off the bottom of the table. If they are to do that, they need 2 more goals and keep Valentine to 4.
Well, let me say this, Bart. It is possible. Very, very much within their grasp. Valentine, 9 men on the park. It's all about survival at this point. They won't look for anything overly pretty. Just want to defend and clear it, defend it and clear it. That's about what will be going through their minds.
Tom Walker. And his skills just let him down at the top of the 18. Not too much pressure around him. It won't matter too much, though, because Michael Brew finds Miners. Stepped away from 9 Kuru and just unleashed. Was that the right option there, CT? Against 9 men.
Yeah, look, I mean, you got players, you got numbers. Why not? Either way, I mean, they're applying a ton of pressure here.
Now, I'll just tell you, Western 2-1 up against Edgeworth. And Maitland 1-0 up against Adamstown in the other matches. So similar score lines. This one has just been changing left, right and centre. What a contest. Maybe showing where these two sides sit on the table, the amount of goals scored, but you can't say it hasn't had entertainment and drama. Valentine down to 9. Brock Oakley and Jacob Bailey off the park, and Cameron Holtzheimer sent off for Lake Macquarie. Michael Brew pushes the pass into the middle. Ryan Smith got down really nicely with the chest to control, ensured there wasn't a handball, but now he's given it away to Tom Walker, who pushes forward to the edge of the 18-yard box. And Walker low and hard towards Sam Walker, and the ball has trickled just wide of the near post. It's a corner for Lake Macquarie.
Valentine win the possession. There was just nothing forward, absolutely nothing, and just depossessed by Tom Walker and under pressure again. But
here's the corner delivered well, and the free kick goes the way of Valentine for an infringement in the box, pushing and bumping from Lake Macquarie, illegal, as deemed by Cal Stammer, a referee who's had plenty to do this afternoon. As Lake Macquarie look to make their final change. All hands to the pump for the 9 men out there for Valentine Phoenix. at the moment. 2 blocks of 4 and Connor Motherway up front. A 4-4-1.
But we're going to have a substitution in a moment. When we do, I might tell you a joke.
Well, you're pulling at the jokes before all the drama happened. The match was probably heading towards a dull conclusion with Valentine up 4-1, and then all of a sudden you pull out the jokes, CT, and it all turned. And the jokes went away because we had red cards, we had goals. Stu Plant now to Brew. Can he brew something up? Delivers in front of Harry Lane. Controls it inside the line. Got right under it, maybe too far under it. It could fall here and does fall for Hunter. What a save from Budden. After a deflection, Perry Budden, absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, full stretch from Budden, and he had to be to keep that one out because that was on target from Budden.
And he was moving to his right, had to move back to his left. Terrific reaction speeds from the Valentine keeper. May come to naught, though, if Lake Macquarie can score here. Charlie Cox, who's seen it before, couldn't get the power or height behind that particular strike on goal. And now Stu Plant is a mile from goal. And that's probably the best thing he could have done. Got the sand wedge under it and just put it into the sky here at the CB complex.
Just quickly, my joke's about a piece of paper. I was going to tell you, but I won't now because it's terrible. Terrible.
Well, there you go. 9 Kuru. And Motherway. Harry Lane bearing down on him, and he came from behind. Groans from both benches. Willard still on a hat-trick. Neat back heel. 9 Kuru. Well, that would have basically won it. And he prodded that one over the top of Stu Plant.
Valentine here need to get all numbers behind the ball as quickly as possible, 9 Kuru included.
Josh Carroll, outstanding this afternoon. Now he's got some work to do, the right fullback. Rolls it over the line. So here is Valentine's final change. And while that is taking place, Western 2-1 over Edgeworth. The Bears proving many wrong this year. And Maitland against Adamstown, who are down to 10 men. Maitland have made it 2-0. So 3 points safe, you sense, for the Magpies now. So it's Jesse Fahan heading out there, replacing Luke Willard, who scored 2 this afternoon. Couldn't have asked for much more from him. Darren Sills and Sam Griffin, the Phoenix co-coaches.
Yeah, he's had a big game, hasn't he? And he's come off, he's done a ton of work, and he gets some fresh legs out there for the final minutes of the game. Smart coaching. And Griffin and Sills.
Ball into the box, and Murray cuts it out, so less than 2.5 minutes remaining now at CB Complex. Remembering Valentine led this one 4-1. Lake Macquarie have pulled back 2. Can they pull back a third? Remembering there's been no draw in this fixture since 2008. Could there be one this afternoon? We'll have to wait and see. Valentine have got the ball at the right end of the pitch for them. Ryan Smith coming across to take the throw.
And Valentine will take that free kick because it'll just chew up valuable seconds. So there'll be no hurry whatsoever.
So Ben Hay. Can he get the dip and curl? Got under it. Up went Josh Carroll. And now 9 Kuru. Can he link up with Hay? It was just to the right. He brings it down. And it bobbles into the arms of Stuart Plant, who quickly releases Daniel Miners. It bobbles off the surface. And he looks to find Sam Walker with a quick release. In the end, it got there. A little slower than probably the Roosters bench would have liked. It doesn't matter though. Charlie Cox, his pass into the head of Josh Carroll. Couple of really important headers in the last 2 minutes from him. In the final 60 seconds of normal time. We probably will have a little bit of stoppage time based on red cards, injuries. Harry Lane, he has got a motor and he got there. And it sits up for Sam Walker, who hooked it back across goal and didn't get enough behind it. Brew. Up went Lane and Ross. It falls for Miners. No one on him on the right. And now Lane. Here is Walker. Taking his time, delivering to his brother, but well cut out by the Phoenix. And now Ben Hay, striding forward. He looked up and saw Stu plant off his line. He took on what was an audacious attempt. He's given away the ball. Here's the stuttering run of Cal Bauer, giving away possession to the Phoenix captain, and he cut down Riley Russell. And it'll mean a yellow card. CT felt that one from the commentary box.
Well, I sure did, and, you know, been there, felt it, smelt it, that's not pretty. And you flinch when you see tackles like that.
Never nice. And we are in stoppage time now. So Valentine, remembering, coming into this one this afternoon, they won just 1 of 14 at CB Complex since the start of last year. That was against Western. And I think you'll find that match they won 4-3 as well. Incredible how things turn out. They've got the ball right where they want it, down in the corner. So Michael Brew. Yeah, I can tell you, Valentine's only other win here at the CB Complex, 4-3 against Western. They lead 4-3 now. Surely Lightning couldn't strike twice. 4-3, very rare scoreline in football. Charlie Cox.
Can they hang on?
Harry Lane. Oh, we're all wondering, CT. Lane gets under it. Campbell Ross. It falls for Sam Walker. And he blazes it wide. Well, you just felt the net was going to bulge there. Darren Sills' heart rate's about 200. Sam Griffin's all right. He's about 120 at the moment.
He's just said Sam Walker's human. Well, you just about back him home from there.
It's tough for us to see the angle from this side of the ground, but that was not far away.
He was on a tight angle. There's no doubt about that.
And Perry Budden has just launched this one straight at the Lake Macquarie bench.
Well, you wonder whether that was intentional, Bart, because every second is a good one for them. Not long to go at all in this one. And Lakes, very patient in their build-up, but at the same time they've got everyone forward.
Especially considering the situation. We're in the 3rd minute of added time. Walker, Riley Russell standing tall, the captain, leading by example. Charlie Cox has come off the bench and delivers to Ross. Here is Sam Walker. And he blazed that one. And Sam Walker, well, he's gone to get the ball, put it down for Perry Budden. And Perry Budden, what does he do? He picks up the ball, walks it across to the other side of the 6-yard box. And out comes the card. Well, you have to go into the book, don't you, as a goalkeeper in this situation?
Well,
you just got to push the envelope, and he's done exactly that. It happens all the time.
In the referee's opinion, he's pushed it a little bit too far. In his mind, and probably the coaching staff, maybe not. And he'll just add extra time on for that.
So the 4th minute now. We go on. Valentine down to 9 men, remember. It only says 1 red card. We can't fit a second on there. Speeding away is Jesse Fahan. He has scored in the NPL before. He scored late. Couldn't do so on that occasion. Bauer. Toe-to-toe with Nyan Kuru. It's 10 for Lake Macquarie against 9 for the Phoenix. So there is space if they can find it. But Valentine are scrambling all over the place. Josh Carroll. Huge intervention. He's been close to the best player on the park, Josh Carroll.
Oh, look, he has, and that interception there, as you've just called it, exactly what it was, and a crucial one, just in these seconds that are so important for Valentine at the moment.
He deserves man of the match.
On the flip side, Lake Macquarie looking for every opportunity and want every available second. They just keep going, and that one was not what they really wanted.
Cal Bauer blazing that one over, remembering he scored the own goal in the first half.
Budden just needs to be a little bit careful here. He's just picked up a yellow card for time wasting. Same scenario.
I should say that own goal in the second half from Cal Bauer. That was to make it 4-1 for Valentine. Lake Macquarie have fought back with the extra man advantage. And a free kick goes Lake Macquarie's way. So final roll of the dice.
Well, I'm not sure about that free kick there, Bart, to be honest. What I do know is Valentine all hands on deck here. And this ball will be delivered into the box. Lake Macquarie have got everyone there other than the goal free kick taker.
Well, Perry Budden, this is huge, a huge claim, and he got there and made it. A massive moment from the Valentine goalkeeper. He's made some big saves late on. And Stu Plant is out of goal. So if they're good enough here, Valentine, and you'd be backing Ben Hayne if he can get it on target, but he doesn't have the power in the right boot there on that bouncing ball. It was awkward off the turf. Very tough. So we are heading towards 100 minutes, CT. We go on. Daniel Minus is opposite number Ben Hay with an expert challenge, and he is striding forward. He's got an engine. He's got no one in front of him, though, and he just decides he's going to take on the strike. And Charlie Cox was there making the block.
Well,
so 7 minutes. We're into the 7th minute of additional time.
Wow. 7 minutes of extra time this one's going to. Would be a huge effort. And it is, Bart.
And for the second time since the start of last season, Valentine claim all 3 points at the CB complex, and it's by the same score. They won their only match here last year, 4-3. Their first win since 2017 in the Lake Macquarie Derby. And it's a win which will push them up to 9th on the NPL Northern New South Wales ladder. They started slowly. Lake Macquarie got themselves in front early on by Mitch Hunter. Valentine scored the next 4, and then Lake Macquarie pushed on late with the extra man. 4-3 it finishes at the CB complex, and Chris Turner has got Darren Sills.
Silsy, that game there, like you're up 4-1, then they've come back 4-2, 4-3. You go down to 9 men. Describe that last 5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes felt like the last 55 minutes. It just kept dragging on and on and on. And, you know, unfortunately, we've lost 2 guys today, and 2 more experienced players, which I thought would be a lot better, more disciplined. And that's something that we've been speaking about for weeks. We've been pretty good, and that's not good enough. It's not good enough for our blokes to do that. But, yeah, we've got to take the referee out of the game. He was one of his better performances today, young Cal, and I rate him as a referee. Unfortunately, today was not one of his better performances.
Well, the good news is for you got there in the end. You've lost some players, as you've said, but you got there in the end. This victory today was always going to be important. I guess next week you're going to be without a couple of important players, as you said, they're experienced.
Yeah, that's right, CT. But I mean, you know, we have got some people there that have got to come back in. Unfortunately, I don't think they're ready for next week, so we're going to be a bit skinny. But we'll got a cup tie next Wednesday night up at Western, which is always a difficult place to go. We'll just prepare for that now and take stock. But it's a very valuable 3 points for us, and hopefully it's kick-started our season.
Yeah, well, deserved to. You've been knocking on the door for a while and just without some results. So congratulations on the 3 points, and go and enjoy the victory.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you, Silsey. Now, speaking of Western being a tough place to go, Western 2-1 over Edgeworth this afternoon, which means Broadmeadow Magic have a 4-point gap over the rest of the competition after their win yesterday over the Newcastle Jets Youth, a 5-2 result. And in the other match, Maitland and Adamstown, I can tell you full-time in that one, it was 2-0 to Michael Bolcher's Maitland, which means I will just run through the table quickly, CT, as we wrap it up. Next week, we've got a big clash out at Edgeworth. It is the Eagles up against Lambton Jaffers, which is a big match in the sense that if neither of the sides get a result and Broadmeadow Magic can win against Charlestown, all of a sudden there's a sizable gap opening up there at the top of the table for Broadmeadow Magic, who are looking to end Edgeworth's dominance. So Broadmeadow Magic, 20 points at the top. Then you've got Edgeworth Jets Youth on 16 in second and third. Lambton in fourth. They are on 15 points. And then you've got Maitland, who have got that win today. They've actually moved themselves up into second, I should say. So 17 points for Maitland. They're in second. Then Edgeworth Jets Youth in third and fourth. So that's rounding out the top four. At the bottom of the table, Lake Macquarie remain last. Valentine Phoenix moved themselves up into ninth ahead of Adamstown Rosebud with the win this afternoon, CT. So a really important win for them to at least kickstart their season to a degree after 5 straight losses. That was hurting them.
Yeah, that's for sure, Bart. So, look, Zadkovic from Broadmeadow, their coach, he'll be ecstatic with the way things have panned out. I actually went to the game last night. They dominated, and they did it in fashion. This one here, if you have joined us, it was an absolute cracker. I won't describe what happened because if you watched, you saw it. 4-1 down they were, Lake Macquarie, and they came back knocking on the door against a 9-man Valentine side. So we've had a very entertaining afternoon here, Bart, and looking forward to next week. Yeah,
very much so, and I will correct that. So it is a 4-point gap for Broadmeadow Magic. Maitland have got a game in hand, though, so if they win that, it's only a 3-point gap. But you've still got to win them. That's the thing. You prefer to have the points in the bag than not. So looking forward to the coming weeks. CT, what an entertaining match we got. Even though it was bottom of the table, plenty of goals, 7 goals, 3 red cards, plenty of yellows, drama all round, and no smudge.
Joke.
And a quality joke from you. Well, that wraps it up for us this afternoon at the CB Complex. Thanks for your company, CT. We'll catch you next week. Edgeworth up against Lambton Jaffers. Until then, full time here at Valentine. It was the Phoenix 4, Lake Macquarie 3.